Okay, so a few days ago, I nearly got scammed trying to help Black Lives Matter. No joke. And I posted on my Instagram story if you guys wanted to hear what happened and if I should make it into a video. And a lot of you guys did want to hear what happened, so this is what happened. Oh yeah, also if you're wondering why I'm wearing this, this is part of another video. There's an info card right there. But yeah, don't mind this. Okay, but anyway, a few days ago, I received a message from like an Instagram account from me saying like, hey, I work with this brand called Made With Me Latino or something like that. I think it was called that, or it's like at Made With Me Latino. I apologize if I'm butchering the name, but yeah, that was kind of what it was called. But essentially what they said was like, hey, we would love to sponsor you and have you be an ambassador. If you're interested in the offer, please message this account. And I was like, okay, cool. This kind of piqued my interest because, well, I have received offers for like brand deals and sponsorship before, but they never really worked out for me because they didn't really fit with sort of my brand. So I usually turned them down. But I was like, okay, cool, you piqued my interest. I'll look at what the brand was. And the brand was like a merch store that sold merch that said Black Lives Matter. They sold Black Lives Matter merch, and what it said in the bio was that it's a merch store that sold Black Lives Matter merch, and all the money and profit that they receive from it goes to donating to charity to help boost up the Black community. And I was like, okay, cool, this could be a cool opportunity for me, because if anyone who follows my Instagram, you will know that I am very vocal about Black Lives Matter and just racism, and I am in full support of Black Lives Matter and ending racism. So I was like, okay, cool, this would be a cool opportunity for me. There's a cool chance for me to collab with another brand. And so, yeah. So I decided to message them. But before I did message them, something sort of caught my eye that was like, wait a minute. It was just something that that stuck out to me that I found weird about their offer. The first thing was that they were asking me to be a sponsor and an ambassador, yet their followings were much larger than mine. I think they had about maybe like 60,000 followers, and yet I barely had 160. There was like a giant difference, so it didn't really make sense for them to be asking me to be an ambassador because I barely had any followings. But I was just like, that's odd. But what I found even more odd was the fact that basically on their Instagram feed is that they're asking me to be like an ambassador or like a sponsor, and yet there weren't any other signs of any other sort of different sponsors. There were only, I don't think I'm wording this correctly, but the only sponsors and ambassadors I could see on the Instagram feed were, well, Black people. And not that I'm not against that, it's just that they were asking me to be a sponsor and ambassador, yet they had no other sort of different culture sponsors and ambassadors, which didn't really make sense. Because in social media marketing, you want to have sort of like a theme to what you're doing. And for example, if you're selling merch, it just makes the most sense to sort of have sort of one coherent theme. And so the theme I sort of saw on their feed was pretty much Black people wearing the merch asking for support. There wasn't any sort of other multicultural in their feed, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just weird. But I just thought, what, maybe I'm overthinking this, and I ended up messaging them. And I had a pleasant conversation with them for the first 2 minutes. After that, it was just like, I pretty much said like, hey, you messaged me, you want me to be like an ambassador or a sponsor? Like, hey, I'm interested, what would you like me to do? And they were like, okay, cool, yeah, we would love for you to be like an ambassador and sponsor. But like, do you know what our brand is? And like, have you ever heard of us before? And I was like, no. And they pretty much told me what their brand was about, and pretty much what they told me was that they're a brand that helps to support Black communities, and the profits that they receive from like their merch or any sort of donation get donated to charity. This is the part where things just started getting odd, to say the least, or weird. after they told me what their brand was about and what their goal was, they pretty much said like, hey, we would just like you to buy our merch, you know, take pictures of it, you know, post it on our Instagram, tag us in it, and then we'll repost you on our Instagram. And I was like, okay, cool, maybe I'll buy some sort of cheap thing. Because I didn't have a lot of money at the time, and I still don't. So I went to like their merch site and tried to look around to see if I could find a cheap thing. And this is the part where things just, it made my jaw drop. Because every single thing on their website cost an arm and a leg. Like, you know, one of those like rubber band, right? You know those rubber band bracelets, you know, those silicone ones that you can usually get like a dollar store for like $1.50, or maybe like at Playland like for free or something like that. Yeah, on their website it costs $30. And then when you start looking around at all the other things, everything was so freaking expensive. Like a bracelet was like, I think it was like $40, $50. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't afford this. So I pretty much messaged them back and said like, hey, everything's too expensive for me. Is there some other way we could collaborate? Because I genuinely did want to collaborate. And this is the part where everything just got weird, because they didn't really answer my question. They sort of dodged it. They pretty much said like, hey, I just made a discount code for you. We would like you to buy the product. And, you know, take pictures of it and, you know, tag us in it. And I was like, wait, what? That's not what I asked of you. I was like, and I said again, like, could we collaborate in some other way? And they just kept sort of pushing me to buy the product. And that's when everything just started feeling scamish, because they kept saying like stuff like, hey, you can, this discount code does work and you can share with your family or friends, encourage them to buy products too. And it's just like, they were like, we would just like you to take photos and pictures of our products. We're not asking you for too much. Just please take photos and pictures of our products. When I legitimately kept saying like, hey, I can't buy anything. So that's when just everything started feeling a little scamish, and sort of there were many sort of red flags that were set off. But the biggest one was the fact that at the beginning it felt like I was talking with a real person, yet by the end of it, it started feeling like I was talking with like some sort of robot, or it felt robotish. So ultimately I just started like, maybe this is a scam. So I started doing a little digging, and what I found was, if you look at their Instagram tag feed, I started noticing that a couple of people were saying like, hey, this is a scam, don't fall for it. And I was like, ooh, maybe my hunch was right. And apparently it was, because it wasn't for the hunch I was thinking of. It was actually for the fact that they were lying about donating to charities that help boost Black communities. Because apparently they didn't really donate to charities, or the money that they received, and they didn't tell anyone if they were, or what charities that they were donating to. And I started like, huh, now that's interesting. That means that everything they were sold on their website, they were trying to profit off of it. And then I started seeing people commenting and saying like, yeah, they're also selling other people's products. Like when you buy the products, it shows up as somebody else's products. And I was just like, everything is starting making sense now. Why they're charging so much? Why the robotish talk? They weren't donating to charity, they just wanted to make money off of it. And so ultimately I ended up just cutting communication to them, and I haven't talked with them since. Do I have any actual proof that this is a scam? No. Am I trusting my own instincts and would not be working with them? Yes. Honestly, there were just too many sort of signs that says this was a scam and too many red flags, so yeah. But yeah. So that's what happened. That's how I nearly got scammed trying to help Black Lives Matter. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you don't follow me on my Instagram, I post stuff about videos on there all the time, and I post updates on there. You can be a part of the videos too if you follow me on my Instagram. So yeah. Anyways, this video right here is a video that YouTube recommends for you because they know you. This video right here is the last video I just posted, and this right here is the subscribe button. Remember guys, do what you love what you do. Peace.